John Riggins once sat out an entire NFL season over a contract dispute. No games, no paycheck, and came back the next year even more dominant than before.
I viewed the game through the wide, starry eyes of a youth when I first came into it. In reality, that's just not the way it is, my friends.
A few years later, he ran through an entire defense on national television, in the Super Bowl, on a play where literally everyone knew the ball was coming to him. Before any of that, he was just a kid from a small farming town in Kansas, born in 1949, working the land with his father long before football ever entered the picture. That's probably where a lot of that raw physical toughness came from. He played college football at the University of Kansas, and even back then, before he was famous for anything off the field, he was already doing his own thing.
He wasn't the running back that was doing all the dodging out and joking and jumping over.
Showing up with a platinum blonde mohawk years before it became his signature look in the NFL. He set multiple rushing records for Kansas and made it clear he wasn't just another big running back. He had speed most linemen his size didn't have.
Men with the hearts of Vikings and the simple faith of a child. That works for
The
me.
New York Jets drafted him 6th overall in 1971. He spent 5 seasons there, put up solid numbers, but the Jets weren't winning. And by 1976, he made the move to Washington as a free agent, a decision that would define the rest of his career. Then came a contract dispute in 1980. Riggins sat out the entire season rather than play unhappy. A lot of players in that position would have caved. He didn't.
That was kind of when I started to realize that it wasn't quite exactly what the ancient Greeks had in mind when they invented the Olympics.
He came back in 1981 once things got worked out, and instead of looking rusty, he became the workhorse for one of the most physical rushing attacks in the league.
He's gone! He's gone! Touchdown, Washington Redskins! Woo-hoo! John Riggins is giving the Redskins.
Running behind an offensive line fans nicknamed the Hogs. Then came the peak in Super Bowl XVII. Facing 4th down and 1 yard to go, Riggins took the handoff, broke a tackle right at the line, and ran 43 yards untouched into the end zone. That run sealed the game and won him Super Bowl MVP, capping off a postseason where he rushed for over 600 yards, still considered one of the greatest playoff stretchers by a running back in NFL history. The very next season, he led the entire NFL in rushing touchdowns with 24, a record at the time. Off the field, Riggins was just as unforgettable. He showed up to a black-tie Washington press dinner in a full-length fur coat and a top hat. Seated next to Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, he told her to loosen up, Sandy, then fell asleep at the table in front of the entire room, including reporters. He gave press conferences half in character, kept the mohawk through his final playing season.
1:00 p.m. Sunday, July 27, 1980. Happy trails to you until we meet again, signed John Riggins.
And never once seemed to care how any of it was going to be perceived. He played through 1980-85 and retired with over 11,000 career rushing yards and 104 total touchdowns. He's been able to tackle 2 all day. He's been able to rig tackles all day long. In 1992, he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. After football, he moved into acting and radio work, still doing everything entirely on his own terms. John Riggins wasn't just a great running back. He was a Kansas farm kid who turned himself into one of the most fearless players the league has ever seen. Walked away from the game on his own terms not once, but effectively twice, and built a personality so unpredictable that decades later, people still bring up the fur coat before they bring up the touchdown.